Before we go through the walkthrough of how I created the application from start to finish, just want to really quickly go over the architecture and what's going on in the back end. So we've got 4 different Azure functions. We've got a blob storage, we've got a table storage, and we've got a queue storage. And so let's just zoom in here a little bit to see what's going on. And so as a user, when I request the site is actually stored on blob storage, and then it just returns back the static files. And then what I do when I'm on that website is I submit an HTTP request when I click the store my note. What that does is sends the information to an Azure function that generates a key, and then it checks the table storage, which is the database, and sees if the key exists. If it does not exist, then it'll store the note with that key, and then it'll just return that key to the user. And so when they want to retrieve the note, I enter the key in. It sends that key to this Azure function. That Azure function checks the table storage to see if there's a key that matches. If it does, it returns a note, and then that function returns the note back to the user. So that is the generate or store the note, and then retrieve the note. And I've also got in here some functionality to delete the note after 7 days. So once the note is over 7 days, it'll automatically delete it. And so how I do that is there's an Azure function that is triggered every day. So after a day, it gets all the notes that are over 7 days old. It'll check that in the table storage. Anything that's over 7 days old, it'll return back to the function. And then what the function will do is send all of those keys that are over 7 days old to the queue storage. And so there's also this function over here, delete from queue. That is triggered whenever anything is added to the queue storage, it'll trigger the function. And so if there's anything added, what it'll do is it'll delete that item from the queue storage from the table storage. So the queue item triggers the delete from the table storage. And so that's kind of a high-level overview of what's going on with the application. So let's go ahead and walk through the application and how I created it.